Farnick, and we are coming to you from Rythmia Life Advancement Center. And it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and this is our every Saturday I Got My Miracle Facebook Live. I'm here with my new friend Gary, and I'm just gonna say hi to everybody. Gary.
Hi everybody, I'm Gary Campbell from the UK. I'm 52 years old and chairman of a pharmaceutical company. And needed to come on this journey. So
beautiful.
Pleasure to meet you all.
Awesome. Thank you. So we're going to dive a little deeper, and how are you feeling today, Gary?
Enlightened, younger, fit, healthy.
You look a decade younger from when I met you.
I'm ecstatic. I'm just, my life's changed from this day forward.
Perfect. So, perfect. Will you tell our audience what brought you here to Rythmia?
I separated from my wife on Boxing Day. Unfortunately, due to PTSD from my 24 years in the British Army, imposter syndrome, chronic fatigue syndrome, workaholism, and childhood trauma, everything got on top of me over the last couple of years. And even though my wife had said, get help, get treatment, I refused to, culminating in me spiraling into despair, picking up narcissistic behaviors, controlling, jealousy. I was in a really bad place. So when she told me that it was over on Boxing Day, I decided that I needed help. So it took a few weeks still after that because I was in fight and flight mode and I wasn't in the right space to deal with it. However, I got some counselling and I was diagnosed with those traumas and syndromes, most notably PTSD, even though it's not a disorder, it's just post-traumatic stress. And so, I then started on a 8-week shock therapy course of havening practice with Estelle Reed in the UK, and it just clarified everything for me. But at the time, while I was in the dark place, I got a calling to do ayahuasca. I met a shaman online through a friend, and she invited me over to California for a week to do ayahuasca and San Pedro and other medicinas, mushrooms and that. But I didn't feel safe enough for that to go in and stay in somebody's loft for a week and just be treated on my own. I'm not that good on my own as a person, so I like people around me. So I told her my fears, so she sent me a video, and it was Jerry and the Rythmia story, and I sat there, and then I spoke to my ex-wife, or my wife, who was separated, and she said, "That's for you. Go on that journey." But I'd already decided I was going out, and then a week later, I was playing golf on the 13th, and I had this voice tell me to go to work and just make the call. And I said no. Hit the best drive of my life down the center of the fairway, and I thought, nah, this is it. I'm having a good round, and got to the green, go to work and make the call. So I got my shit together, got in my car, drove to work, and was just fannying about in work for an hour because I just couldn't make the call. And so I kept getting this, make the call, and the adverts and TripAdvisor came up, and I was like, oh shit. But then I made the call, and it was like, we've been waiting for your call. This is the time that we need you to get you on the course. And that was it. I was hooked and paid me monies and made the journey over here. And,
Beautiful. So what about it? You did say like you didn't feel safe going into somebody's home and doing the medicine there. Was it the medical license that we carry and having medical professionals here that helped with your decision making? No,
it was just purely the video she sent me. And it wasn't that I was scared that we wouldn't have doctors there, because I didn't know enough about the medicine anyway. I wasn't an expert in ayahuasca or mother ayahuasca or plant medicine. I wasn't. So I didn't have any understanding of what I was really going on. I just knew that this is the ultimate journey if you're suffering traumas like I was suffering, plus other traumas. And then Fiona sent me a video of Dr. Jeff talking about PTS and that this treatment is the ideal treatment for post-traumatic stress. especially 24 years in the British Army, 13 operations tours, I'd seen enough and done enough. And regardless of trade or whatever, it was just in my mind. And it was nothing really to do with the shaming and being in her house, being in California, being treated. It was the isolation that I didn't like.
Okay.
Gotcha. I wasn't confident with the isolation.
Interesting.
But then when she sent me the video, that was it. It was just, that's for me. Then I did research it during that week before I got the call in to make the call. And it was all about safety, that they are medical license. I actually started to respect Jerry and his journey. And although mine wasn't as colourful as his, I was still on the same sort of journey.
Sure. So you both had trauma.
Yeah, and that's what really decided it for me. And Jerry came across as a very professional individual, very caring, loving individual during the videos that I was watching in the YouTube, and it was just, it's got to be that if I'm going to do it, I've got to be in a safe environment, but with other people doing it as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's really nice to hear, because I sometimes hear the opposite. They want smaller groups, but I sat and drank with you one night, and for me, I felt like there was plenty of help and everybody was well taken care of and all that. So it's beautiful. Because
I didn't know the power of the medicine, it wasn't an overly concern. In fact, that the shaman and me were going to be together doing it. But here, I was being told, I don't know how, subconsciously, consciously, whatever it is, that you'll be with other people. You'll be looked after. There's enough medicine helpers. There's enough in people in the medicine group. The shamans are well respected. The shamans are well respected around the world, and that helps. That helps massively. And although I had an absolute shit 3 nights, terrible 3 nights,
you led me into my next question.
Oh, sorry. Right.
No, you're fine. You led me into my next question, which was, how was your journey?
Fucking terrifying.
Okay.
Absolutely terrifying. Yeah. The first 3 nights. And I don't know if I came with the wrong intention. So she was trying to inform me where I was meant to be and what I'm meant to be doing. My intention was to heal my broken heart so that I could get back with my wife.
Right.
Which really, what I found out throughout the program, and it is an intense program of lessons and learnings and constant thought processes, was that this is about me. Right. I'm doing this for me. Right. And the shamans looked after me amazingly, knew what I was going through, they knew the trauma I was going through. But the first 3 nights, I was stripped back, laid bare, and taken on a path of destruction, which I was on at the time. Right. Or I could change my life around and go on this path of joy. Yeah. And the path of destruction was very vivid. It showed my relationship with women, doing with other men, with other things happening, and where my relationships would go if I didn't sort of change my journey. And it was horrific. It was scary. It was just torment for 3 nights. However, at the end of each night, I was given some love and care back. On the first night, I was by the fire, my father fire, and purging feelings and behaviors, and I got the message that you've done right tonight, Gary. That is what I want. But remember, you've learned from tonight. Now unlearn it and learn again. And I was like, shit. But I was in such a dark place. I was purging, which was being sick a lot, through both emotional traumas, which was the vomiting, and I probably lost about 2 stone because I've had so much physical trauma come out of my body through the back end. And I was in a bad way. I sweated profusely. I was constantly vomiting, headaches. I was on this journey, and the vivid pictures were horrific. Come the Tuesday morning, I didn't even think I wanted to do it again because it was that bad. But I thought, no, this is your journey. Or, this is a journey for a reason. Let's get on it. Did the Tuesday night, and it was 5 times as worse. It was dark, absolutely so dark. And, it showed me everything I had become. And that being that business is the only thing that matters to me. And that's why I became a workaholic and had the imposter, but it wasn't really, because I've got such an amazing team that look after the business and I'm not even there. I've not even had an email this week. They're just there supporters. I don't need to be there. I've just got to change my life and change everything about myself.
Yeah.
And then I saw that little glimmer of hope that was like the path of joy.
Mm-hmm.
And although it was only one picture, the 5 hours where I was in torment and struggling really bad, where it showed me committing suicide on the path of destruction if I didn't change.
Oh, wow.
It showed me just the one picture and one imagination of where I could go. And after that, I'd come down a bit and I was outside. I broke down by the fire. I was so emotional, sobbing uncontrollably. And the shaman came and blessed me. And he felt my heart and realized that my heart wasn't beating with love and with warmth. And he said that you're very cold. And he
more of a figurative.
Yeah, figurative, yeah. But it was just what you're going through at the time. And people say, oh, it's imaginary. It's not. It's real. It's just truth. It's, you are seeking the truth.
Always.
Here.
Always.
And the light. And he did an old, he said me, it was a very old tradition that he did, but he blessed me and then put my hand on my heart and I felt my heart beating for the first time in 48 years. And that was the light, the only light of that 5-6 hours of just being in torment. So that was it. I was like that, ready to get the flight home. I was had enough.
So that was on Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
So you wanted to leave on Tuesday, then you
I
wanted
wanted to leave Monday, to be honest.
And you went through Monday.
Yeah,
I
still wanted to leave. And then Tuesday wanted to leave, Wednesday wanted to leave. But the support I had from everyone here, all 57, I think it was, that's on this group with me, the love that they give. Everybody's going through their own traumas. And the camaraderie, the love. You've got friends for life now, and they all supported me. The classes helped. Johnny, one of the instructors or facilitators, he was amazing with me. He said, I'm going to get you in front of the shaman, the lady shamans, because it was the women's night on the Wednesday. And I probably had 4 hours of reflection that you can be a better person, you can get through this, but learn. But then 4 hours into that, they just put on the most morose music I've ever heard in my life. Talking about divorce and everything. It was just, my shit. I was like, not a chance. And then my head just went, but stupidly, I went and had another medicine, which I probably shouldn't have. Smartly. But I had another medicine, and then the music came. I was just in torment again. The pictures at night. And then Thursday, asked my travel consultant see if she could get me home again. But I stayed through it. Freaking right, because it was traumatic. It was incredibly difficult journey.
Right.
But I saw who I had become and saw where I could go if I didn't change, or where I could be if I did. Then on that Wednesday night, the only positive of that, after that music was going, was I was actually tied to my bed, my mattress, and a blue light came around every single part of my body. It was like the Ready Brek advert, for those in the UK who have seen this, and you have the light glow around your body. And I was literally fixated to my bed, but it was fucking freezing. I was absolutely frigging freezing. Yeah. And then
it's not cold here.
No, it's frigging 90 odd degrees. It's boiling. And then, but I couldn't move, but I was sweating. And then all of a sudden, I got this glow, and Mother Aya just got the sun and put it in my heart, and it had a smile on its face. And it was quite a surreal moment, very emotional. But again, I'd gone through 5 hours of shit to get that little glimpse of happiness. And you come out of it after the ceremony, 3-4 in the morning, whatever it was, and you're trying to fathom what the fuck's just happened. But it's too difficult to explain. I'm trying my hardest here for you guys, but it's just such a difficult thing to explain, the feeling, why you're in this with the medicine, and the constant feeling that you're supported and you're loved, because all the helpers are there helping you. They know what you're going through, because they're taking the medicine, not as much as we do, but they're taking just so that they can feel the energies and moving the energies about. And it was incredible. Thursday, because I was struggling a lot. I was fortunate enough to be given audience with the shaman early. And this shaman's the Colombian shaman Tete. Yeah.
Oh, Taita?
Tata, sorry. And he was just probably the most empathetic, loving person I've ever met in my life. And I felt his love immediately. And he blessed me and said, "You're going to have a good night tonight. I know what you need, and I'm going to look after you." And I think I only had about 1 cup. And I had probably the most magical journey of being told how to love myself. And if I love myself, I can then love other people, but I've got to love myself first.
Right.
And she said, "I'm going to take you on a journey of affirmation. So, but you need to purge." And I was like, "Oh, for God's sake, not again." Yeah, I've got this shit for England. And she took me on this journey and to the toilet. And every step of the way, she said, "Be grateful." So I said, I'm grateful that I didn't trip on the mattress. And then before I got to the toilet, she said, "What are you grateful now?" And I said, "Well, I'm grateful that I haven't shit my pants before getting to the toilet." She said, "That's good, Gary. That's really good. Now what?" So I went to the toilet. And then I said, "Thankfully the door's open. I am grateful that the door's out. I didn't have to wait." She went,
beautiful.
"Good, you're doing well. This is
Practicing
what I want you to
gratitude.
do." Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Then she said, "What next?" So I obviously pulled my pants down. She went, "What? So what are you going to say?" I said, "Well, I'm grateful that I haven't shit myself before I sit down." And she laughed with me. And it was like,
She's funny.
yeah, she was. And then I sat down, purged. She said, "What now?" So I was grateful that I purged, and that was another trauma out of my body that I purged. And she said, "That's great. That's exactly what you need to be saying. But be grateful, living the light, and living the moment of joy and gratefulness. And the more content and happy you are with life, everybody around you will feel the energy."
Great.
And then she said, "Right, one last job." I said, "What now?" She goes, "Fold the toilet paper." I said, "Fucking hell." All right. So I folded the toilet paper, and she went, "Is that it?" So I folded it again, and I put it all nice and square. She goes, "What do you think of that?" I said, "Well, it's a 7 out of 10. She went, "Excellent. So tell yourself, well done." So I went,
Now
that's
you're working
brilliant.
on
Well done.
acknowledgement.
Correct.
Nice.
So everything's a lesson.
Yeah.
And she said, "Right, go back to your mattress now, and I'm going to be kind and gentle with you, Gary, but I want you to lie down and get some sleep because it's been a tough week." So I was like, "Fucking hell, this is amazing." And then I went to sleep.
Yeah.
So I missed the second cup, missed the third cup,
Didn't need
missed everything. Then all of a sudden the shaman, Tata, came to me and said, "Gary, come and have another cup." So I went and had another cup. And he said, "Because it's going to be your cleansing circle soon." So I had another cup, went and laid on my bed. I was like, "Fucking hell, I'm gone again." Then one of the, I think it was, what's his name? One of the shaman that did the first night. Anyway, Oscar. Yeah, he helped me up to the cleansing circle. Then the lovely lady came and got me and sat me down and calmed me down because I was off on one. And I was watching everyone else being cleansed, and he came to me and he just worked on me for what seemed an eternity. Just so much love. And the second shaman, the shaman's second was there, and she was saying, "Gary, we've got you." And then he just said, "Listen." He walked away after that. Then he came back to me and said, "No, I haven't finished with you. I can still feel it." And he put his hand on my head and did loads more rituals with me and loads more ceremony with me. Then he put his hand on my head and said, "We've got this now, Gary. Go where you need to go." So I just collapsed backwards. And he just said to me, "You're healed." And then it was just an amazing feeling. And then she said, "Go back to your bed." So I went back to my bed, and then she goes, "Go and purge." So I went to purge again, but nothing. And she said, "You're healed." And it was so powerful moment at that time. It was amazing. And I just felt elated, lighter. My head was clear. There was no noise going on in my head. There was no traumas. I wasn't thinking about anybody else but myself and my self-love for me. And I was just so elated, but I was still very emotional. Because for the first time in 48 years, I haven't had a trauma to worry about. And it's just an incredible feeling. Then I went outside to the fire, reconfirmed my behaviours that I wanted to get rid of as part of a ritual that we were informed about. So I did that. And then went back to my bed. Then I saw the sunrise. And then I went outside, led on the ground, because I was told to go and lay on the ground because somebody wanted to talk to you. So I went outside, laid on the ground, looked up, and Jesus was there, and Mother Aya was there, and she's such a stunning lady. She's beautiful. She was incredibly beautiful. And they both said to me, "We're going to watch over you now." And that was, it was so powerful. And
wow.
Yeah, so emotional. I actually broke down crying then, but other people, because they'd come out of the ceremony by then when I was still in it, because I'd taken the Dawn Cup, came over and they were hugging me and just telling me what a beautiful person I am. And
do you believe it now?
Oh, 100%. I'm amazing.
You are amazing. That's right.
It was just such an amazing night. And I now thank the medicine and the spirits for taking me through those 3 nights.
Right.
Because if I hadn't realized what I had actually become, I wouldn't have gone through what I went through on Friday. And that was just probably the most magical time of my life. And I'm sort of smiling since, still emotional at times because I'm still shedding and still purging stuff.
Well, you're in touch.
Yeah.
You probably didn't cry, I would assume. You didn't cry much before.
Never cried in my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'd seen
Too
so
much
much death
trauma.
and destruction and
Too much
shit
trauma.
before. Yeah.
So those first 3 nights were purging. Even though it was a ton of purging, you were purging your trauma.
Yeah.
So did you come with the expectation it was going to be kind of a tough road just because of the amount of trauma you had?
No, because the 8 weeks of havening that I'd undertaken, the shock therapy, we discussed 5.5 A4 pages of trauma that I'd havened out myself. And I'd actually thought I'd got to the bottom of it. But I saw things I'd forgotten completely about and couldn't get out during havening that I wish I hadn't seen again. But every time it came out, I'd never see it again. And I knew that. So
it's coming to go.
Yeah, it's coming to go.
It's going.
And it was incredible end to the journey after the ceremony. And everybody just kept saying, "God, you look 10 years younger. Look at your eyes, you're sparkling. Look at this."
Wow.
And it was just it was incredible. Full of love, full of care. I felt safe throughout, even though I could have kicked shit out of a few people at times. But I felt incredibly safe. Felt love from everybody, from the initial driver picking us up from the airport to even now. We're the day after the last ceremony, and people are still offering love, hugs. They all want your number. They want to be friends for life. I've been invited to Hollywood. I've been invited to Myrtle Beach for golfing. I've been invited to Canada. I've been invited to Mexico. I've been invited to Dubai for weeks at a time. So rather than before in my life where I was probably fearful of being isolated, I've now got friends for life who have said, "Come and stay for a year. Don't worry about it. Just go home after six months for 5 days. Come back, get your passport redone. You can stay for life. It don't bother me." And it's just everything about this place is about love, compassion, care, but ensuring you get the right treatment. And I fully believe I am in so much of a better place. The energy I've got, the warmth that I feel in my heart continuously, and the gratitude to other people is something I've never experienced before in my life. So
that's beautiful.
It is fantastic. Yeah.
Wow, what a story! And I'm hearing it for the first time, actually. So thank you for sharing that. That is amazing. Would you speak to our audience and just tell us what you would say to somebody who's thinking about maybe coming to Rythmia? Just in a sentence or two.
I think what I'd always advise, I never thought I needed help.
Oh.
I always thought I could deal with it. I've been in the army for 24 years. I'm hard as fuck. Nothing bothers me.
Right.
And I do believe it took my wife's courage and conviction to say that we're separated for me to realise how ill I'd become. And my company had its best year since inception last year. We grew 300%. We're doing fantastic. Yeah. But that's all I had in my life. Even though I was married to a beautiful, caring, loving woman, that didn't affect me. I didn't want that. I wanted safety. My inner child wanted safety, and that's all it was. And I tell you, I'm 100% now. I love my wife to bits now, but it's unconditional love. Right. And it might be too late, but I'm in a far stronger place now to deal with that. But if any CEO, chairman like me, or businessman, or even teacher, whatever, that's feeling the stress and the anger and the depression and the anxiety and the traumas, childhood traumas that I suffered or what you've suffered, there is not a better place to spend your money. And I've had talk therapy for years since I left the army. The Havening was brilliant, but this place has healed me, and I feel healed for the first time in my life. And I feel my heart for the first time in my life, from being 4 years old to 52. Wow. And I feel it. And, I know I'm going now on a journey of joy, and anybody that's got 1 ounce of trauma or doubt, get yourself over here. And because I will be back next year, but I will not take as much ayahuasca next year. I'll just reconfirm what I know and take 1 cup a night or something like that.
Okay, well,
but
we'll just see. We'll see what the medicine
no, tell me. I won't.
we'll
Trust
see what
me.
the medicine says.
I won't be coming back. No,
Medicine has the last word.
It does, yeah. And she'll be with me now for the rest of my life.
But it's pure love. It's pure love.
Well, you feel like it, but I do get it now.
Sometimes we need a little.
You need a kick up the arse.
Well, thank you. Great. That was amazing. Thank you so much. So if anybody is interested in coming to Rythmia, share this with your friends. The phone number is right there on the screen. Go ahead and just call in and ask questions. Gary has suffered a ton of trauma and released everything, all of it. Released all of it, and he is leaving with unconditional love, which is probably something you've never even known.
Didn't even know
because we don't know what it is until we find it. So. Thank you, Gary. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. You're the best.
Thank you so much, Denise.
And thank you for joining us today, and have a beautiful day, and come see us at Rythmia. Take care. Bye-bye.